Hello. So I thought today I would do a quick little video about some of the things that I use to self-massage at home, especially now that we're in quarantine. Obviously it's unlikely that you have someone at home that's going to be willing to give you a massage. So if you have been training and you have been sore, then these are some things that I have been using that you might have also at home, or you might have been thinking about getting but don't know how to use them. So I have a few pieces of equipment that I am going to show you. These are things that I have not bought all together. I've like gradually built them up. In fact, one of them isn't even mine. So first one is going to be something that probably everyone knows about by now. It is a foam roller. This one is just from Amazon. It's not my favourite, to be honest. There is one at our studio that is so much better, but I cannot for the life of me find it for sale anywhere. Even on the official website of the brand, like, it's not for sale anymore, which is so annoying. But this is a pretty generic standard sort of shape for them. So you'll have this flatter bit and then you'll have like lots of little ridges. For me, I prefer the ridges because it feels more like a massage. So where I would use this is on my upper back, and I also try to use it for the back of my legs and also my hips a little bit as well. So for my back, this is obviously very wide, but the main place I feel it is right in between my shoulder blades. With everything that you're going to use to self-massage, it's going to depend on sort of what you're doing with your body as to where you're going to feel it. So for me, if I sort of open my back rather than contracting the muscles, I'm trying to open it so that it can get in behind my shoulder blades, so I'm not actually feeling it the whole way across my back. What you do want to be careful of though is that you're not hitting your spine too much, because that's going to be very uncomfortable. That's one of the reasons I don't really use this for my lower back, because it's just uncomfortable. It doesn't feel like it's doing anything for me. The only time I would use it low down is maybe like on my side, but it's not very often that I would do that. For legs, again, this is not my favourite for legs because I don't feel like I can always get enough pressure on the back of my leg. So for hamstrings, it's usually like what I'll do for a bit of a warm-up, and then I'll go in a bit deeper with something else. Hips, it's actually not too bad because again, you can sort of open your hip so that it exposes your glute, and that's sort of where I try and hit it more rather than like the whole glute. It's sort of hitting just the side, so it's not too bad for it. But you can also play around, like sometimes I'll try and use just like the edge of it, and that can sort of get a little bit deeper because there's more pressure on a singular point. But yes, so foam roller is your first option, and it's probably one of your most common. You probably know someone that has a foam roller that you can borrow from if you don't have your own, and this is actually isn't mine, so I'm proof of that. Next one is your yoga wheel. So this is not something that I used to use a lot, but it's something that I really enjoy now. And again, when you first get this, you'll probably be like, what can I do on it other than lie across it? But it actually does come in handy for a variety of stretches. But I use it mostly for what it's sort of known for, which is stretching your back. I find I can get a really nice upper back stretch from it, and it also cracks my back a little bit as well, which I really appreciate. But because this one is a lot more narrow than obviously your foam roller, I find that you can sort of massage again in between your shoulder blades and the your erector spinae, which is the muscle that runs along either side of your spine. So I really like it for that. This one I find is just much more comfortable for your back in general. So like I can get a nice lower back stretch from that as well. You can find, I'm sure, plenty of demos of moves you can do with your yoga wheel on YouTube and on Instagram. I will probably do a little video in the future of stuff that I have figured out I can do with it. That's all I'm going to show for that one, because it's not necessarily a massage tool, but it can be used to massage, and it's really good for your back. I think even if you were doing that every day, you're most likely going to feel some sort of relief in your back, just to sort of stretch it out. Especially if you hunch over all day, that's like the perfect thing to reverse that and really stretch out your upper back. This is one that I bought recently, so I haven't had a lot of time to play around with it, but it's different from anything else that I have because it's obviously a very weird shape. I don't even know what this is called. I'm sure if you type in like 4-point self massage, sports massage tool, it'll come up. I got this in Decathlon and it was like £4, so it's really inexpensive. But this is different from anything I've shown so far, because I wouldn't use this really on my back unless it was someone doing it for me. You can sort of get your traps, but I can't get a lot of pressure, or at least as much pressure as I would like. What I think this is good for is, especially for aerialists, is the more smaller muscles. So for me, I would definitely use this on my forearms. Where I have been using it recently is on my tibialis anterior, which is the muscle that runs along your shin bone, because it has been sore because I did a little bit of running, which my body's not used to, so my legs were very sore for a couple of days, and this was the perfect tool to just run right along that. It's basically like your thumbs, but a lot harder. It's also a lot less effort than trying to massage your leg yourself. That's so nice. I think this will be good for after hoop, because for me, I know that after hoop my forearms feel really tight, so as well as stretching them out, I think it'll be really good to sort of give them a little massage with this. It's also a really good head massager if you need to relax. Like even doing it on yourself, it feels really nice. So you can do it on yourself, or you get someone to do it for you. Last little tool that I have then is these. So these are probably my favorite tools to use for self-massage. And one is like a really hard rubber ball. This one is actually more plasticky and it has spikes on it, so they're very different. I would use them for different things, but they're both really, really good. This for me is perfect for behind my shoulder blades and using it on my back. I don't actually like it on the floor. I actually use a wall for it. But I also like this for my hip, like right in here. It's one of the only things I can use to get in deep enough to actually feel a benefit. If you don't have one of these, you can actually use a cricket ball or a tennis ball or even a golf ball probably. It just sort of has to be hard enough that it's not gonna collapse on you. This one I don't use as often because it's a lot more uncomfortable, but I like it for my feet actually. Whenever I've been doing like point work, it's really good to stand on and sort of relieve the pressure in the muscle in your foot. I have used this on my back, but again it's very uncomfortable, so I would usually wear, like could probably do it with a jumper on and it would feel okay. But to do it in like a bare skin is just not really advisable because it is quite painful. One other thing that I have tried recently, it was sort of just by accident, but I discovered that even if you don't have any of these tools, you could actually use a door frame to relieve some tension in your back. And it basically just works the same way. For all of these things, you really just have to play around with them. You obviously know your body and where it hurts and how it feels, so you just sort of have to play around to feel what you prefer, what feels good, what feels too painful. Before I go, the brands of each of these, I have no idea. This one doesn't say on it and it was a present, so I would assume it's from eBay. And if you just type in yoga wheel, I'm sure you'll get plenty of results. The little massage balls are both by B-Nex. You can also get one that looks like a peanut, so it would basically be like two of these stuck together, which I also really like. This, like I said, is Decathlon. There's only one of them in there, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. And this one is Master of Muscle. But like I said, there's probably better ones of these out there. So if you find this helpful, let me know. If you try any of these, let me know. If you have tried these before, tell me what you prefer, what you don't prefer, and let me know if you would like me to do more in-depth tutorials, I guess you would say, of these in the future. Like I can show a bit more in depth of like what I would do if I was doing like a proper little self-massage session. And also for the yoga wheel, I can do a little demonstration of stretches and stuff to do with that. So definitely let me know, and I will see you in the next video.